Joining me today is Anna Tsui. I am so pumped to connect with Anna. We're going to jump right in because I have so many things that I want to talk about. So, first of all, Anna, thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having me, Synchronicity.
I know, I'm so excited. So, I want to start actually first with what is your favorite color today?
Oh my God. Well, it has to be what is this, a fuzzy peach?
Yes, I love that color. Yeah, that's a good color. Okay, why that color in particular?
Because it's so fuzzy and warm. I look like an organ.
Ah, I love it. And how powerful are our organs, right?
Exactly. And this is really important because it's the fire era. We really need to take care of our organs because it can like burn out. We can all burn out
Yes.
very quickly.
Yes. So let's talk about that, the fire era. Let's go straight
Mhm.
into that. What do you think is important for people to know right now?
So fire era is my name for period 9, which is kind of like a niche Chinese feng shui astrology term for this 20-year period that we're in. That's going to end in 2043-ish.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so like every period is 20 years and it's ruled by a certain element. The one before us, period 8, was ruled by earth. And so
Okay.
that's like kind of slow, steady growth. That's when you could still, go to college, right? Get a good job and still kind of rise in the ranks and have some sort of stability. Well, it's all gone now.
Oh,
It's all gone now because period 9 is fire, and fire is very quick, very hot, very intense, very fast. And in traditional Chinese medicine, fire has to do with our blood, our
mm,
organs, our heart, our eyeballs, right? And so, like all of these areas, because imagine it's just being activated constantly by this fire energy. And especially people who have like fire signs or have fire in your energy, everybody needs to just chill out this year. Everyone needs to go swimming and everyone needs to
ah,
take care of our organs.
okay. Okay, good. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. So I just recently connected with Anna and it felt extremely synchronous. And I'm going to read the post so my friend Natalie actually liked one of your posts and she's an amazing artist. And the post that she liked that I was just curious about it, came across my Instagram feed and in the post you spoke about the synchronicity of quietly posting nearly every day with no acknowledgement, and then 400 people bought your class,
Yeah.
and how it reminded you of all those classes you launched and no one signed up for, but you still created the materials and because you wanted to get better at doing this work. That immediate I'm getting chills right now. I'm That's resonated with me so much
Wow.
because there are so many things that I learn and want to share, and it's just kind of just keep putting it out there. It was something that I needed to hear in that exact moment, about continuing to believe in your mission, and then all of your efforts paid off. I was like, thank you,
Ugh,
universe, for
I'm getting
for
chills now
Anna.
too.
Yes, it
But
was.
you know what, Becca? Here's the thing. A lot of us, energy workers, light workers, spiritual people, we're actually kind of light years ahead.
Ah,
And
yeah.
so a lot of the stuff that we put out, and I'm like very frustrated about this in my life, but I understand now, like I completely understand. The world needs to catch up to where we are. Because what for us is normal, yeah, we can heal energy, right? And maybe for a certain
Mm-hmm.
population who understands it, it's normal, but for most people, it
Mm-hmm.
is insanity.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And so I realized with a lot of the work that I was doing, and I bet the same is true for you, it just people needed to catch up. And
Mm-hmm.
the energy, like the collective energy needed to catch up. And it's catching up. So in the next, yeah, light workers, healers, energy workers, this is the time for all of us to step forward because there will never be a more clear moment when the world needs us and when they acknowledge us.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting chills all over my body.
Yeah.
Anna, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Seriously. It's so powerful. And we were just talking before I started recording about Reiki. And then your experience with that. So talk more about your experience with Reiki and its impact currently for you.
Yeah, I think Reiki is like It was my gateway drug into the energy world. Maybe it was
Yes.
for you
Same,
too.
same. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And Reiki is so gentle and it has a lineage,
Mm,
it has a history, right? It has a provenance. But Reiki is like so powerful because when we acknowledge that we're energetic beings and we start working with energy, it's like for me, it was like these things open up, right? Like we see the world in a different way. We interact with the world in a different way. I drink water, and this isn't just water. If I put my
hmm.
intention in it, it's complete consciousness.
Yes.
People, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
And so you were asking about my business or just Reiki in
Well,
general?
just how Reiki, how it transition kind of started to change things for you, your
Oh,
experience
yeah.
of practicing your experience with it, and then how it, yeah, how it transitioned.
Yeah, so I got certified because I was just really into it. And I was like,
Yeah.
this is really cool. And
Hmm.
then probably like years later, I've forgotten about it. Years later, I was at a networking event. Long story short, someone was like, will you be my coach? And I was like, what's that? And then I kind of fell into the world of, oh, coaching exists, but I wasn't certified in anything. I was certified in Reiki. So I was like, oh, I'm going to be a Reiki coach and just see how it goes. And I cannot, it's unfathomable. I do not understand how this happened, but now I know why. It was
Mm,
like the moment I kind of opened my doors, I found like a little shared office space and put some stuff online, like literally just a website, right? Some stuff on Facebook. I think I was on Yelp. And then like
mm-hmm.
all these people came. And these were really, they were like people who were, running big companies. These were people who were executives. And I'm like this 20 something year old girl, and my company was called Little Red Boar and with a rainbow
Yeah.
on it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, but they were serious. And I was like,
Uh-huh.
why are you here? But then as I started working with them and later on I kind of looked back, it was because the energy was so powerful and so pure.
Yeah.
I didn't have
Yeah.
any doubts.
Yeah.
I wasn't in it enough to
Yeah.
question my,
Sh-
when you're young, you're just like, I'm just gonna do
Yeah.
stuff.
Yes.
So it was just pure energy. It was pure, I want to create. It was pure, like I want to help. It was pure
Yeah.
serve. It was pure everything, you know?
Yes. Gosh, that's beautiful. I love that so much because there's such an openness, almost like a hands open. I like, here we
Yes.
go. Let's do this.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was like a Care Bear, just like
Yes,
leading my.
from that. Yes. Oh my God. I love that image. That's a beautiful image. That
Yeah.
actually, that image has been coming through for me a lot, like from the heart, the light out from the heart is very,
Yeah.
very consistently showing up in different
Yes.
places lately.
Yeah. That's so
It's so,
healing. I'm
yes.
curious, when you heal people on your table or just, do you like, does light come from your heart or does it come through you or how do you experience it?
It feels I love that question. I almost feel it throughout my whole body. It starts through my feet and then very intensely through my hands. But I feel like it's almost the circuit of like moving from the hands across the heart out through the other hand type of thing.
Mm.
And I'll also get like little it almost feels like buzzing in my head,
Mm.
like right at the crown.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of depends on where I'm at with someone and
Mm-hmm.
then what it is that they're needing. And I'll just feel it in different, I feel things very physically though.
Yeah.
But
That's
yeah, I
great.
think it comes, I'm looking forward to more of that heart connection. I think that's been part of my healing and growth process
Yeah.
is like removing the guarding of my
Yes.
heart.
That is absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
And like we talked about fire eras, the heart, fire is the heart.
Yeah.
Those of us who have been slowly healing the walls to our heart, because come on, we've all experienced horrible things, right?
Mm,
And so those of us who have that access to our hearts, I feel like we are truly the leaders of the new era because there's a different level of downloads and
yeah.
power and that comes through the heart that people are not ready for, right?
Yeah.
But when we bring it forward, they recognize it and they're like,
Yes.
"What is that?"
Yes. It's
Yeah.
like it's like the a remembering. I keep coming back to that idea. Like just keep remembering. It's gonna come because it feels very much like what you're saying. There is this like awareness, this awakening that's coming through where people they're curious, but it's kind of like hands up a little bit. I don't know about this. It's still unfamiliar, maybe uncomfortable, but there's an openness. So the hands aren't
Yes.
closed. There is an openness to it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And to speak on your point, I don't think people realize how freaked out people are going to be like from here onward because
Yeah.
there's just so much change after change after change and the all the structures are falling apart, right? And so
Yes.
there's going to be like this kind of like void almost where it's like we
Uh-huh.
are building the new structure, but it's going to feel really scary. And
Yeah.
so people who are tapped into the heart and kind of like connected to source, there's a
Mhm.
sense of fearlessness. There's just a sense of
Mm.
faith, right?
Yes.
And that's going to be so needed when people are like losing their mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is happening
Ah,
now.
yes, 100%. And so what does that look like for you in what you do daily? How do you feel like you will best show up in this transitioning?
Something happened when I turned 40, which was like a few months ago. It wasn't even that long ago, but something happened where it's like, oh, I'm like this real version of myself now, meaning I've
Yeah.
gone through so much. I've learned a lot about myself. And now
Mhm.
I feel like it's finally coming together, like the
Mm.
spirit and the heart and the human.
Yeah.
And I think what happened was because I had this practice, and it wasn't like a conscious practice, it was just something that I was doing because it was making me feel better,
Mm.
where I was like, I need to look at all of my fears and insecurities, and I just
Yes.
need to heal them, right? And it took years, still
Yes.
work. But from that, it was like I could just be present.
Yeah.
And then I'm pretty fearless, and
Yes.
like, if
I
something of a bear comes, I'm probably gonna be a little scared. But like
ah,
for the most part, living in everyday life, like I just am in presence and flow for the most part.
yeah. Yeah.
And so like that's really helped me show up on social media and
Yeah.
say whatever I want to say and do whatever. I don't do any of the I think you saw kind of my friends call it the big blow up where it was like
Uh-huh.
I gained 100,000 Instagram followers
Yeah.
in like 2 weeks or something insane
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Surprise to me, was not
Yeah.
going for that. But like
Yeah.
that for me, everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, how do you feel?" I'm like, it doesn't make a difference to me. Like
Right. Right.
I have
Yeah.
consistently been doing this forever.
Yes.
I'm just doing
Right.
it now, and more people, have comments. Like amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it because it's such a it I believe it speaks to your authenticity and how you show up open, and it's just your that energy is being drawn to you. I mean that I mean I am proof of that. Where I
Here
was
we
like,
are.
"Oh my gosh, that's it." Yes. And it was
Yeah.
so I'm like, "Yes." I was probably fist pumping at some point. I was like, "Yes, thank you, thank you,
Yes.
thank you. That's
It's
so
wrong.
good."
Shadow work works. It really
Yes,
does.
it does. Yes, and so speaking of that, your book, the book is Shadow Magic, A Business Owner's Journey. When did you write it, and why did you write it?
I wrote it because when I was coaching, and I'm doing a second version, like an updated version. So like
Yes.
fingers crossed this year, send some good
Okay.
energy to it. But I did
Absolutely.
it because when I was coaching people, it was just the same things came up over and over
Yeah.
again, and it's self-sabotage. And so
Right.
basically, I was like, huh, what is up with this? Why do we have it? And also, why are people not planning for it?
Yeah.
The fact that,
Yeah.
when you have some big jump in your revenue or in your visibility or in just like you making an announcement that you're gonna do something,
Mhm.
that's going to activate a lot of your dormant fears,
Mhm.
right? So and then weird stuff is going to happen. Your life will seemingly implode. You will get super sick or something, right? Or
Yeah.
like, but it's a pattern, and we can see
Mhm.
that it's a pattern. Whenever I made a lot of money, for some reason it would always disappear. Like it would always,
Mm.
some sort of big thing, or I would just like spend it, or I would invest it in something and it was like a horrible, it would just go away. And I was like, oh,
Mm.
there's a pattern here. Let me look
Right.
at my shadow around receiving, my shadow around holding big sums
Yes.
of energy, right?
Yes.
And when you just have this conversation with your shadow, when I wrote it, it was during this kind of bro era where everyone's like, yeah, you gotta like, kill your goals and you gotta like crush that, your ego and that part. It's like, it was very violent towards yourself. And I'm like,
Mm.
wait, but this is a part of us that wants to keep us safe. Why would we want to destroy it?
Right.
And also, when you get to know your shadow, which I would suggest everyone do,
I agree.
it's simple but not easy, right? Because it's very
Yes.
difficult to look
Gosh,
at. Yeah.
I am, yeah, keep going. Yes.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
your shadow will tell you so much about you
Yes.
and it will help you connect with others in a really deep and meaningful way versus someone who's like, nope, I gotta crush it, I gotta ayahuasca it away or whatever it is.
Right.
I think the consciousness is better around it now, but before when I
Yeah.
like wrote the book, it was like, not that great.
Gosh, it's such a beautiful tool and guide. And what you were saying about it's simple and not easy. Oh my gosh, like I write about this every day. And the about patterns. So and speaking of looking at your shadow, I just recently co-created an oracle deck. This was not
Amazing.
in my, it's not published yet. I'm still waiting on publishers, but that's part of the shadow work is the surrendering, the trusting. I knew the what, I didn't know the how. I still don't know the how, but
Yeah.
it's like looking at that and getting
Yes.
curious about and what's showing up for me as I'm putting out this thing, this energy that I have no idea where it's going to go, but it's out there and I trust it and I believe
Hmm.
in it. And it's guiding people to connect with exactly that. What are the patterns that are showing up? Can you look at them with compassion and gentleness for yourself?
Yes.
So gosh, I love that.
All
And
that.
where can people find your book everywhere? Is it
Yes, you can actually download half of it for free. Don't tell my publisher. Because I
okay?
was like, oh, why don't people just, I'll just give half of it. So there's some
Yeah.
like good stuff in there. And then if you
Yeah.
want to, you can purchase off wherever,
Yeah.
Amazon, Barnes and Noble, whatever. But you can go
Okay.
to annasui.com/book. And basically
Okay.
it's just a Google Doc that goes
Okay,
into
perfect.
email.
I
Yeah.
love it. Okay, I'll put that in my notes. And so one of the things that I'm resonating with everything that you're saying. It's like my heart's beating because I'm so excited.
Don't you love
So
talking to people? And it's like, wait a second,
yes,
have we known each other for 30
yeah,
years?
yes,
Yeah.
that's how I feel. You're saying the things that are like coming through all the time. So I saw that you're a quantum optimist. Will you I just want to know say more about that.
I feel like optimism is so powerful, and
Mm,
and I wrote a Substack about this because I really believe in it. It's a lifestyle choice,
yeah.
right? Because and it took me a long time. Like I just recently got there. It took me a long time to get. I think inside we're all optimists. We all like feel like it is a kind universe in our soul, but because we've
Mhm.
experienced so much and we continue to experience so much, it's hard to get there. And so the reason why I say quantum optimist is because I struggled with a lot of like questions that I think a lot of empaths have, which is like,
Mm,
why do little children die? Why do people
yeah.
suffer through all of these abuse and all of these things and genocide? And
Yes.
how can the world be a good place?
Yes.
And I'm not saying that what my answer is correct, but for me, I went into the quantum. I went into, like mysticism and past lives and reincarnation and soul contracts. And it's like,
Yes.
oh, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. First of all, it's not like we cannot humanly comprehend.
No.
Okay. We cannot.
Uh-uh.
And so, yeah. And so for me, I realized that, for me, someone who suffered through X, there was probably a past life when I was the perpetrator of X,
Right.
and
Right.
there, because a soul wants this kind of understanding and
Yeah.
this like experience. And there are like a
Yeah.
lot, like this life, I have a certain amount of privilege. I definitely remember lives when it was not good. It was not good
Yeah.
for me. Okay.
Yes. Same.
Yeah. And so it's like, oh, okay, well then that's just what it is. And it's just the soul learning. It's just the universe doing its thing. And,
Yes.
like I have no real control over someone else's whatever. And, we're all connected anyway. And so for
Yes.
me, it's like, oh, it's like this beautiful, complex,
Yes.
divine web of creation. And that's beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yes, to all of that. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna be re-listening to this and then taking note, like writing so many things down because it like our interconnectedness, even the book that I just am waiting on getting out there talks about that. Like we're inseparable and there's so much unknown and we don't have to know it all and that's okay and we're evolving. Like it's that soul
Yeah.
evolution.
Humans, I
Okay.
think in the next, like maybe next two generate like 100 years, we're going to be very, very different.
Yes.
Yeah, like very different.
Yeah. I'm even seeing it in my kids. I have two
Oh,
teenagers, and it's really cool to see even just the difference in how they are observing the world and
uh-huh.
going through it with kids their age. It gives me hope. I'm excited
Yeah, because
for
they're more conscious, right?
yes, that's it. That's it. They are. They
Are they
totally
Gen
are.
Alpha or Gen Z? Or
Oh, I should probably know this.
I don't know
One of
either.
them, they're 18 and 16.
Oh,
So
maybe they're
they're
Gen
babies.
Z. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I think they're Gen Z. Yeah. But it's cool. The curiosity is they're curious. They it's but they're not they don't seem worried also in an attachment sense. Do you know
Hmm.
what I mean? Like they're
Hmm.
very, I don't know. I
What
I
do
want
they
to get
think
more.
about the future and their role in it and I don't know, jobs and stuff like that?
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're look, great question. I think we are trying to encourage them to look at it as a, just because it's always been done this way doesn't mean you have to keep doing it this way type of thing. Like there are different routes and different options, and like you don't have to suffer through a certain thing because that's, it's always been do this, dig in, sacrifice your joy to be able to blank. And so I think that there is a more openness to different paths, and that it doesn't necessarily have to be like, if you go this direction you have to stay this direction for the entirety of your existence. It's like, okay, I do this. What can I learn in the process of this? And then
Mhm.
maybe shift directions, or like all of it is
Mm.
information. All of it is
Yeah.
information.
Yeah, because
Um,
really in their adulthood, it's all the jobs are changing, all the roles are
yes.
changing. Everyone's going to have, three different jobs and roles and stuff. So
Yes.
you just
Right.
have to be open and flexible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think I'm excited for that for them. I'm excited for that for more people. I think even people more my age are becoming more comfortable with that. And
Hmm.
so, because I'm 46, and so I think people like even are becoming more like, oh, I don't have to stay stuck here, like that stuck feeling.
Yeah.
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 So
Wow, you're
it's,
46 and you have teenagers. I'm 40 and I have a 3-year-old. It's
yes.
a different
Oh,
experience.
yes. Right. So,
Yeah.
how is that for you, having a 3-year-old and then looking at the world they will grow
I
into?
think becoming a mom is probably one of the most eye-opening things.
Yeah.
Because you can go through the world just kind of like living in a bubble, but then when you become a mom,
Yeah.
you're like you see reality.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
real. Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's so I don't know what your experience has been yet, but the mirror that comes from it's the okay, yes, this is good. This is good. This is good. Okay, thank you for sharing this. Thank you for showing this. Yes, because it does. I mean, it helps you. I feel like it has been mostly gentle, but it helps you look at the shadow. It looks at the stuff that you
Yeah.
you have to look at the things, and it's almost like you don't have a choice in some way, because
You
it's like
can't.
is
Yeah.
right, you just have to,
Yeah,
which
and
is
I heard that
great. Yeah.
whatever age that you experience certain trauma as your kid, whatever, when they get to that age, you'll like feel it and be triggered. I just can't wait. Can't
Yeah,
wait.
can't wait. Yes, it's so true. It's so true, and it's beautiful. Like it's that uh simple, not easy kind of thing, where it's like,
Mhm.
gosh, yes, Becca, okay, we got to look at this. It took me a long time. I don't know how it's been for you, but it took me a long time to have compassion for myself, looking
Yes.
at the hard, the shadow, the information that comes. Yeah. How was it
Oh,
for you?
absolutely. Because you're like,
Yeah.
oh no, I'm gonna mess them up and stuff. But one
Yes.
thing that I am proud of myself for is that the day that he came home from the hospital, because when I was at the
Mhm.
hospital, I was like, but when
Yeah.
when we came home, every single day I have cleared his energy and brought his energy back to them. And even people say like, this kid is so like he's just so jubilant and
Yeah.
he's so, and I'm like, because he has good energy.
Yes, I love that, Anna. That is amazing. That is amazing. And what a do you is that something that you teach or share with others, guide
Yeah,
others who are
I mean,
parents?
it's just the intention. So I say
Yes.
something that one of my previous mentors taught me, and I have mom brain. I can't think of her name. I
Yeah.
can't.
You're good.
Yeah, and so it's basically any energy that does not belong to me, I send back to source, blessed and
Mhm.
transformed, and
Yeah.
all of my energy I call back to me, blessed and transformed, and I just do it for him. And you can
That's
say your own version of that, but it's just like the intention and like
right.
the especially when they're taking a bath, it's a great time to do it. Or I just do it
Right.
sometimes when they're sleeping or he's sleeping because I'm just tired.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Anna, that's such a gift. Like that. that is such a gift. I want to let that be there because I think that will help a lot of people. And
Peggy
I
Black. Peggy Black is her name. Sorry,
oh
Peggy.
no, that's great. Okay, shout out. Love
Yeah.
that. Yes. Okay. So one of the things I wrote down several of your quotes that just stood out to me. One of them was, "My soul is where my authentic self resides."
Mm.
Will you say more? Just
I am shocked by how much me, I'm included in this, and other people, they don't know their true personality. They don't know their
mm,
true identity. They don't know their true selves
mhm.
because we don't, our first initial years are about survival and putting on the mask, right? And
Yeah.
then at some point, you just forget what you really believe in, or even your own preferences or your own voice. And sometimes
Mhm.
other people can see it in you before you can, right? Because, like,
Right.
I was taught to be this,
Yes.
successful, serious, whatever person. And
Yes.
so the soul is like, I feel the more that I kind of connect with my soul, other people's souls, and of course, little kids are like in their soul's expression.
Yeah.
It's like the there's a huge disconnect between like the energy that I feel from someone's soul and like who they are. It's really
Yeah. Yes.
interesting.
I've
Yeah,
experienced that as well. Yes.
yeah, yeah,
And I, like you said, where you can kind of see it in somebody else before you can see it in yourself. I have felt that my whole life, where I'll see something in somebody and I am shocked. I'm like, how do you not see this? You like their gifts or something where I'm just like, wow, that is
yeah.
incredible.
It's
And
literally
they're,
a
it's,
blind spot. Like they're looking right at
yes,
it, but they're like, "What are you talking about? I'm
yes.
not generous, or I'm not funny, or whatever it is." Yeah,
Yes. And I'm thinking that is an unbelievable superpower. Oh my gosh. Because especially because it's not one that is big for me. And so I can so easily see it. And I'm just like, well, I'll just follow you around and keep telling you all these things
oh
because
my
we
gosh.
need that light. Well, like
Yes.
shine that. Keep
If we
doing,
all
we
had a
need to do.
friend like you, that would be amazing. Because then we would
Oh,
remember who we are.
yes, you as well. Like that. I mean, let's keep doing this. This is it because
Yeah.
it's so powerful, like elevating. That's the biggest thing. I just want, and I'm hopeful that that's what's coming, is that elevation of the light and the superpowers. Okay, so what would you say your superpowers are? Speaking of superpowers.
Hmm. This is a tough one because I've thought about this and I've like done a lot of, I think generically, I like to look at lots of vibes, if you will, lots of
Yeah.
data points, lots of whatever, and then like try and make it make sense for people.
Uh-huh.
Because I have a lot of great friends, and I follow some really gifted, talented, astrologers,
Mhm.
psychics, thinkers, right, and even like business people and people who are really good at what they do.
Mhm.
But if you can't, I feel like if you can't make this knowledge accessible to people in a simple way or in a way that like actually they can understand, then it's like, I don't
Yes.
know, it's not really helpful.
100%. Yes. Yes, I love that. And so that would you say that I believe, I mean, even looking through everything from your website to your IG page, you make it accessible. Like it doesn't feel intimidating because this stuff can be very intimidating.
Yeah, and you
And
can like we started talking about quantum stuff, like quantum, like
yeah,
when people talk about quantum stuff, it's like literally, what are you saying at this point?
right.
Because
Yes.
fractals and like I'm sure
Yeah.
it's fascinating. It doesn't really help me in
Yeah.
my life, and
Right.
I do love reading about it and stuff, but like I always
Yeah.
think for me, it's like, can some normal person, right, who's kind of on the path,
Yes.
like, can they make some change that like helps them see the world in a
Yes.
different way or be a different person in a better way? I don't know.
Yes, and that is powerful because that's what we need. You're a bridge. You're the bridge to get people from this place to this next evolving. You're a bridge. I love
Yeah.
that.
And I mean, if we're really going to talk about it, it's like
Yes.
our star seed lineage is like coming back online. And there's going to be a
Yes.
point, yeah, when it's going to be undeniable,
Yeah. My gosh, I'm getting chills. Oh my
right?
God. I'm so excited. You're making me really excited, Anna.
Good. I'm glad.
This is so good. Okay, so there are so many things. Okay, I'm going to try to narrow my brain. So one of the things, you had a podcast. You had one. It was called Higher Self Spills the Tea.
Oh
Is
my
that
gosh,
right?
you found it. That was,
I
yeah.
did. You don't okay, here's what I need you to understand, Anna. I consumed that. I know it was from 2020. So I'm not telling you what to do at all, but maybe a suggestion if you ever have like a little nudge to get back into podcasting,
Okay.
I have shared your episodes.
Whoa.
I think it's one of the most I've ever shared. And I was like, this was 2020. Are you kidding me?
But what
Because
about it did you like? What about it was
okay,
like,
so the first part was the love, like, oh, love for those who are hardest to love.
oh, yeah.
Beautiful, accessible. I was like, I was on a trail when I was listening to it. So people go find it. Just listen
Yeah,
to these.
somebody
I'll
find
share
it.
it. I'm gonna link it in my notes. No, because it was so this speaking of your superpower, it was so like you gave me just enough of a perspective pivot where I was like, I can do that because it met me at exactly,
Right.
synchronicity,
Yeah.
exactly what I needed at exactly the time I needed it. And I was like, it felt like this, it was so simple and it was such a beautiful, I felt a shift in my physical body where I
Oh,
was like, I can do this.
yeah.
Thank you.
No,
Because
thank
and then I was
you for
like,
telling me that.
yes, oh my gosh, I'm getting more chills. But
See,
I
this is
was
love
like,
in action. This is literally love in action. Because that spoke to you, it opened your heart, and now you're sharing with
yes,
me, and now it's opening my heart more, and everyone else is gonna have their heart open. And this is what I'm
yes,
talking about. People with like love energy and their hearts open, we're literally going to activate the
yes.
world.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, go team. High five, Anna. It seriously, I shared it with like people started coming into my mind and I was like, share, 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 and like everything. And then I was scrolling through, I'm like, there are 8. I need more of these. I need more of these. So no pressure, but just like if it hangs out for you at any time
Okay.
to maybe jump back in, I
Okay.
would consume. It was
Amazing.
nourishment for my
Ooh,
soul,
yeah.
Anna.
I
It
like that.
nourished my soul. I
Okay,
think
there you
I
go.
was like emotional because of how powerful it was. And I was just like, oh my gosh, people need to hear this. So I'm sharing it with everybody. And yeah,
Thank you. Because
yes.
my current obsession for the past few years has been 5D relationships, like relationships
Oh,
in the
yeah.
fifth dimension, and what being in the fifth
Yes.
dimension is, because it actually doesn't feel very good being in the fifth dimension.
Okay. I'm not super familiar with it. I'm aware of it, but not familiar.
My understanding of it, not saying I'm an expert in the fifth
Hmm.
dimension, but my understanding of it is it's really a place where we live in full trust of the universe and
Mm,
we're completely connected to oneness. So,
mm,
meaning like I know that you and me, we're the same, basically. We're different, but we're the same. I'm not more valuable, you're not more valuable. Like it's just we're
mhm.
the same, right? And then you do that with
Yes.
everybody. That's the
Yes.
thing. Like everybody.
Everybody.
Everybody. Yeah.
Yes.
And
Hmm.
and then if you're like, okay, well, if everyone is just living out what the universe has planned for them based on their unique, karma and soul blueprint and whatever,
Uh-huh.
all that stuff, right? Then it's like I
Uh-huh.
don't need to worry about anything, really.
Right.
And like
Right.
you almost like don't have a judgment on anything because you realize that whenever we judge something as like good or bad for me or whatever, it's always inaccurate,
Yes.
incomplete. And so it's
Yeah.
almost like you just live life without judging and you just flow. And it kind of feels a little bit weird because you feel like you have no control, but then you don't
Yeah.
need control because
Right.
you're in the fifth dimension. I don't know.
Yes.
But then that also means, so in terms of relationships, what I like about it is the part that I like is like, oh, I'm not looking to someone else for
Hmm.
my happiness, my sense of belonging, whatever. I will never blame anyone for making me feel anyway, right?
Right.
There's no
Right.
blaming.
Yes.
But then on the other hand, it's almost like uh, it feels like there's no responsibility, meaning like
Mm,
if my um, if I had an elderly, sick parent or something who needed my help and I kind of didn't feel like it, I'd just be like, no, I mean, the universe will take care of you. Right? But it's
mhm.
not really like that, but it is kind
Sure.
of like that. So that's the
Yes.
part that I'm kind of struggling with a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that as well right now. That interplay, that kind of whoosh. Yes. Okay. I love this. This gives me so many things to talk about. And I feel like I will really want to about you more. We might need to at some point have like podcast 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6.
Yeah, let's do part whatever.
Yes. Okay, good. Okay. So before we wrap up, oh my gosh, Anna, I
Time goes by.
seriously, I love this. This is like my soul is so pumped right now. So one of the things I noticed on your website was, I think I'm saying it right. It's the Enso symbol. The
Oh
with
yeah.
the yes. So because I have that's another thing that has been coming through. I see this all the time.
Huh.
And so will you speak to what that symbol is for you? And then yeah, I'm just curious.
It's like it's like a symbol, but also, I mean, it's like a circle, right? But also
Yes.
like a sound, like om. It's
Oh,
also like
yeah.
just there is no beginning or end.
Yes.
There's like,
Yes.
like the snake kind of eating its own tail.
Yes. Yeah.
I
And
think that's kind of like the beauty, but also kind of the cruelty of life is like it just
sure.
continues. It just goes on,
Right.
like,
Yes. Yes,
yeah,
because it can be the circle that's fully connected, or it can be like it's just one swish of a circle where it maybe doesn't connect.
yeah,
But it's that whole idea. What I love about it is it's that present moment. Like you're in the present moment when you make that symbol, like you're
yeah,
drawing it. And the
yeah.
impermanence has come up a ton for me lately.
Interesting. Why do you think? Why
Yes.
do you think, Becca?
Oh my gosh, I love your question so much. I think it's for me, it feels the first word that's coming to mind is surrender, like surrendering and then that release of control. So there's an artist in Denver, his name is JC Bial, and he does sand art. And I think what is so powerful about that is he spends so much time creating this beautiful piece in sand, and it's at an exhibit, and then he sweeps it away. And I was talking to him at one point, I was like, how does that feel to create something and then have it, and then it's gone, it does not exist anymore? It does, and but he was like, that's part of the process of it. It's releasing it, it's impermanent, and it's like just continuing, like the
Yeah.
energy of it
And the
continues.
but the devotion and the creativity and that, in that flow state while you're creating, it's very, to me, that sounds very similar to like if you go to parts of Asia and probably other parts of the world, like every morning, devotees will bring flowers and food to temples. I
Yeah.
mean, and they don't get eaten or, it's literally just
Uh-huh.
like an offering. But
Offering.
yeah, but it's like they clean the temples or even like the cemeteries or whatever, and it's like this devotion. It's like they put so
Yeah.
much, and then it just kind of gets swept away at the end of the
Right.
day. But it's
Right.
like that devotion. There's like a energy to it.
Yes. I love it. It's something I'm getting really curious about more. So I probably
Your
have more.
cards, oracle
Yes,
cards. Yeah,
exactly. It
yeah.
it is because I have there's this whole process, of going through it. I never thought I would do an oracle. I was like, this is so hard. This is for other
It's hard.
people. Yes. Do you have a
No,
deck?
but
Oh,
that. Why do you
yes.
think? Because it's
Yes,
hard.
it is. It was something that was not, I never thought I would do it. And then I was on a walk and it was like the information came through and I had the title and I had the whole thing. So I'm like, this is inspired. And so it is important and it's here, but I don't know where it will be from here yet because it
Mm.
exists. Like I have a hard copy of it just because I printed it and laminated it because I wanted to
Wow.
have it, but it's not published yet. And so
Right.
it's just kind of the waiting and the
Did you make
like
the
it
art for it?
my sister-in-law, she made the art for
Of
it. So
course.
I did,
Yeah.
yes, and I did the words, and it's just this beautiful co-creation, and it's just, yeah, it's there, and we're
So cool.
seeing what happens. I'm excited. It's also very stretchy because it's a lot of waiting. And I am not the most patient. I'm learning to be patient, but
Mhm.
it's waiting. But that's part of my work, is like
Mhm.
this is part of it. Like you just wait,
Mhm.
like trust,
Yeah.
surrender, time, space. What is that?
Yeah.
And so
It's
it's
this year's gonna be very fast, and I feel like it's really good that you have this aligned project that you've already decided is gonna happen because this year is gonna make it happen faster than you think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gosh, Anna, thank you for sharing that. I'm getting chills all over my body up to my face.
I know
Oh,
there's like bolts coming out of your eyeballs.
yes. I love it. I love that we're recording this and people will see the bolts. I'm just kidding. Okay, Anna, please, I would really love to have, I do want, I'm going to reach out to you again for part two because I
Yeah,
feel like there's
please.
so much more we can expand on and you are
Yeah.
beautiful and wonderful and amazing. And I
Yeah.
just have a couple more just quick questions that I'm
Sure.
curious about and then we'll wrap it up. Okay. Okay, first, see, this is where when I get excited, okay, so first thing, what is a question that you wished people asked you?
Oh, that's a really good question, Becca. Is that the question? Maybe that's the question.
Yeah.
Oh, you know
Um,
what? Maybe
mhm.
it's like, Anna, what weird things happen in your mind that you never even thought to talk about, but do? Because I think
Yeah.
everyone has like, we all have these like little, these little conversations or little, and I'm like fascinated by that because there's
Yes.
something going on there. And so, like, for some reason recently, I've been having this like argument in my mind with Buddha, like the
Oh,
Buddha.
yeah.
I'm basically just saying like, listen, like you don't need to like go into the cave and like starve
Yeah.
yourself and do all the things that it's because
Yes.
you're a dude. That's why you need that. Like,
Ah,
I'm literally just arguing with him. And I was like, you know how much work women have to do? Like how much of our own.
yes.
And then I really came to this conclusion, which I think is kind of like there's a few women talking about this, which is women, like kind of like mainstream spirituality and like the man going out there to find himself. Like that's the man's
Uh-huh.
journey. For a
Uh-huh.
woman, we don't need to do that.
Right.
We
Yeah.
don't. We really
Yes.
just need to like be in our lives and really just love ourselves and give ourselves
Yes.
grace because we're pouring so much into other people and believing in ourselves. And,
Yeah.
like so I just have this argument with Buddha in my head, like, listen, like this is not for everyone. There's
Yes.
like a different way of attaining this. And me attaining enlightenment in my life, that's what I want. I don't want to, because like Buddhism, it gets like really deep, like forgetting
Mm-hmm.
yourself and being one, and then
Mm-hmm.
you get all these kind of like magical powers and stuff. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, that's such a guy thing,
Mm-hmm.
you
It
know?
doesn't have to be so hard.
Yes. And Buddha left his wife and kid.
Right. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying
Yeah.
that that's bad, whatever. I'm just saying like,
No, but it
maybe,
could be, there's a different way.
yeah. So in my
Yeah.
mind, I'm like constantly like having this argument with him.
I love that. Okay, so for our next podcast, I want to talk about the weird things that we have in our
Okay.
heads because I
Do
love
you have
that.
weird things in your head?
I very much do all the time. I mean, it's almost like it's funny. I'll have dreams too, where I'm like, what? And I'm so curious about my dreams because I know that there's stuff going on in that realm. And it's been more coming through. Gosh, I'm trying to think of something
I know it's hard to
specific.
think about because it's so
Yeah.
natural. It just happens. And you're like,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. I'll have to think about it because now I'm curious. Like, what is something that, and then the next time we connect,
yeah,
I'll
you'll
share it.
catch it.
Yes, I will catch it because I'm aware of it now. I love that. Okay. Well, okay. What is the question that you would most like answered? And I'm curious how you would even answer that question. Yeah.
This is okay. So this also aligns to fifth dimension,
Yes.
which is people, even if they're morally bankrupt, why is
Uh-huh.
it that they can, still thrive and do really well, at
Yeah.
least materialistically, right,
Yeah.
in our
Yes.
world? And it's because the answer that I've come to is like, it's not our universe isn't necessarily like a moral kind of like policing kind of thing.
Mhm.
It's more like our inner world truly comes through. And I haven't
Yeah.
actually said this publicly because I don't want like bad people to find it.
Uh-huh.
But
Yeah.
I really think that like when I've kind of like gone through the energy, if you believe, for example, that you are the best or the most deserving or what, that's what you're gonna get. Even if you're like kind of an
Mm,
asshole,
right.
And here we
Gosh,
are, the people
yeah.
who are like the opposite of that, like, no, I don't deserve. It's like so backwards,
Right. Yes. Oh,
messed up.
right.
Yeah.
Oh,
But we can always change that.
that's true. Yeah. What do you, yes. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
I deserve it
Yes.
all.
Yeah.
Without any shame. Yeah,
Right.
I want it. I
Right.
can have it. Done.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. And then, okay. Okay. Yes.
Because why do
Because,
the assholes have all the stuff?
right.
Why?
What
It's
is
because
it?
They
Yeah.
just have, even like narcissists, and I say narcissists meaning they just have this intense like belief in the world serves them literally. And I'm
Yeah.
not saying they don't have other stuff come into them that's not,
Yeah.
repercussions, but it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, they do get it because
Right.
they have the single drive, the
Right.
single belief that they are the end all be all,
Yeah. Gosh. Okay. Yeah, we definitely have to talk again because there's so much we could talk about even
Right.
beyond that. Yes. Okay. Oh my gosh. I need to take notes on the things that I want to ask you because so many things are coming up right now.
I know.
Okay.
We
Okay.
need 5 hours next time.
Seriously. Okay. I'm just going to write down all the things that are coming through if I can remember them, and then we'll just keep talking because it's all connected and it's all so helpful. It's so good. What makes you expand?
Oh, slowing down. It's hard to slow down. It really is.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
when I think people like me and you and almost all healers, we feel this like almost like contract or like this need or desire to help and to
Yeah.
whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so there's a part of us that I feel like never rests. Like it
Yeah.
even like
It's
I don't
true.
sleep
It
anymore.
does.
Like
Yeah. It does feel that way. It does
yeah.
feel that way. And for some reason, even more now, it feels like the rest is hard to come by. Like rest, deep rest. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That's to
interesting.
have deep rest would be so good.
Yes. Well, and having a 3-year-old,
Yeah,
that's
impossible.
yes, that's a tough time to get a lot of rest.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna pause here to be continued, but I just want people to know, so you are a business leadership coach. I'm getting to all these other things that are important too. You're the founder of the Intuitive Business School.
Yes.
So where can people find you? How would they connect with you, and what would they connect with you for?
Great question. The Intuitive Business School has basically become more of like, it was kind of like more of a private thing, club
Mm,
type, but now it's really just like in my Instagram and TikTok and Substack and
yeah.
in the I do have some YouTube videos up, but it's like maybe future
Okay.
podcasts, maybe future YouTube. But like I'm really
Yes.
putting everything out there. And by the time that this podcast launches, I think I would have either completed or in the middle of writing 9 activations to wake up your dead business. Like real
Oh,
like wake up, like probably triggering. I'm gonna actually have a trigger warning, but it's just truths that like I just need to say to people. And that's
yeah,
why
good.
like this is the reason why you're having trouble marketing your business. Because my goal is like I want all heart-led entrepreneurs, healers to be confident like in the
Yeah.
world because they're going to be needed. And like
Yes.
why out of all the people who are successful, why won't you like
Yeah.
you should be the one success anyway. So like I'm putting this out there so that people can just kind of wake up to what I see, which is
Yeah.
like you have so much potential and power, but you're keeping yourself small because you're not really saying your truth. You're kind of saying
Right.
these things that everyone else is saying that doesn't have your essence in it. So, well,
Yes.
you should wake up to that.
Yeah. Yes. Get out of your own way. Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that.
yeah.
That's so good. Okay. So where can people find you? What's the best places for people to go to find you?
My handle is MSMiz Anna Tsui, ANNATSUI, on Instagram and TikTok. There's a lot of spam accounts on TikTok. So if you don't see anything over 225,000 followers, that's a spam account and they will message you and like,
Okay.
yeah, don't do that. But also
Okay.
Substack is where I'll be writing a lot of stuff.
Okay. Yes. I love the Substacks. I
Yeah,
love writing. I just love
yeah,
reading people's
right.
writing. It's so
Yeah,
good.
it's so
Oh,
good.
yes. Oh,
It's so
Anna.
humbling too. It's like,
Yeah, right. It's true. That is true. It is. And it's
it's good.
vulnerable. It is good. It's all good. It's all good. And I love it. I love that you're putting everything out there. And I'm so grateful because you put it out there and I was able to connect with you. So much gratitude for that.
Yeah, same
Um,
here.
Anna, you are a big deal. And I'm so pumped to connect with you and have more conversations with you. This is going to be so good.
Becca, you're a big deal. And this podcast is a big deal. And this conversation is a big deal. I love that. It's such a big deal.
Yes. Pumped. We're pumped about it all. Oh, you're the best. I'm gonna hit pause for a second and then or stop and then I'll continue with you. But you're amazing.
Subscribe, follow.
Subscribe. Yes. Thanks for joining me today. If you enjoyed this podcast, be sure to rate, review, and follow the show on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. Keep showing up and remember, you are a big deal.